Africa's pension funds and asset managers have launched the continent's first centralised data hub, a move that's expected to improve investment decisions, strengthen regulation and mobilise African capital for use within the continent. The platform was unveiled in Nairobi at the Pan-African Fund Managers Association conference. Jasmine Wamboe brings us that report.
The million jobs that we need for the continent.
Africa's pension and asset management industry controls billions of dollars. Yet, for years, it has operated without a single reliable source of comparable data. That gap is now being addressed with the launch of the Africa Pensions and Asset Management Data Hub, or simply APAM Data Hub. Industry leaders say the hub will support better investment decisions and facilitate evidence-based oversight by regulators.
When we ask, the various fund managers or the industry, why is there not more investment in Africa, in the continent? And one of the first things they would say is that because there's a dearth of data that's not publicly available, it's not standardized, so how do you compare apples with apples? So I think this data hub will go a long way in assuaging those concerns.
We expect assets under management collectively now within Africa to grow very strongly. We have estimated in other studies that by 2040, those assets will be about $7 trillion, which is quite significant. And we can now start shaping those assets to invest in Africa's economic transformation.
Initial findings already highlight wide disparities across African markets. Asset bases range from deep and mature markets like South Africa with $206 billion in collective investment schemes to countries with little or no licensed fund management activity like Mali with assets below $1 million. Kenya is one of the continent's more developed markets, holding about $16.6 billion in pension assets and $2.6 billion in collective investment schemes. Still, the industry remains highly concentrated and conservative in its investment approach.
So there is a very conservative streak to fund managers for understandable reasons. It's your and my pensions. And so we need to create investment instruments that allow those asset managers to invest in a way that gives them the sort of security that they need in order to know that they're going to get their money back at the end of the day with a return.
Stakeholders say the ultimate goal of the Data Hub is to mobilize the continent's growing pool of institutional capital and ensure it is invested productively within the continent to support long-term development, infrastructure and climate financing. Jasmine Wamboe, Citizen TV.